Welcome back to Guitar Quackery Live. Guitar Quackery Live is the one and only live streaming guitar repair channel in the world. I think. I hope I'm saying this right. I'm not making it up. I'm just not sure. I know there's another live streaming channel that's from a guitar shop, but it is not a repair channel. Where I put that post-it note? Unquendor Guitars. Okay, just in case you don't know how to spell. Unquendor. This is it. All right, so check him out. Good guy. Well, while I'm recommending channels, check out this guy, Steve Cassidy Guitar. Come on. Come on. All right. Good guy. And I got to recommend another one. If you like rockabilly music, the Room Shakers. Okay. My subscribers. Okay, I check out subscribers sometimes. Look at that. Dr. Rubbish Guitar Bloke is here. Yeah, good morning, Professor. Congrats on reaching 5K subs on the main channel and getting a few more here. Yeah, thank you very much. I noticed. So, let's talk about that. I had a theory that people like bad news, because I had some videos in the past that performed well, that had some bad, like negative message in the thumbnail and or title. And you know, I guess that's how newspapers sell headlines, right? If it's bad news, they put it right on the cover and they sell the paper. Especially some newspapers. Dr. Jeffrey Boyle is here too. Hello to you too. So I said, you know what? Let me try to do like a real negative, video where where I say that this is absolute garbage. And I know it's only a small sample, a sample of one video, but it did perform actually even better than I expected. So the guitar is still here. This is the guitar. I haven't returned it yet. The only reason I haven't returned it is because I forgot. I forgot to return it. But there were a few comments. So I'm talking about the Squier Sonic guitar. Okay, this one. Obviously, I'm not going to keep it. It's unplayable. But someone said in the comments, hey, did you not adjust the truss rod, or did I miss something? So I replied, I was up late that night, okay, because I had to finish work and then I had to record this video. I did it in multiple takes. That's how it works. And I remember I went to bed, I looked at the time, at 6:17 a.m. So, yeah, I forgot to show what would happen if I had attempted to adjust the truss rod. Although, there's no point, because that guitar had a hump because of the convoluted wood grain. Hold on, let me put my switcher here so I can switch. So that guitar, not this bass, we're working on the bass here. So it takes a while for the switcher to load. So it had some convoluted wood grain right here, which made this whole part of the neck go back like this. So it looked like it had a hump here, but it wasn't really a hump. I mean, kind of. The whole neck was kicked backwards. So you can't adjust the relief there. I mean, it's kind of like you have a neck in two parts, right? So yeah, so I didn't even attempt to adjust the relief. Because the truss rod adjusts the relief around, you know, the 8th fret, around there, maybe 6th or 7th or 8th fret. So, but it would do nothing around the neck joint. It wouldn't, you know, you couldn't dial out a hump around the neck joint that was caused by this convoluted wood grain. Okay, now let's talk about this one. Oh yeah, so what was I saying about that? Yeah, so I initially wanted to buy a guitar. So I have some explaining to do, right? And I want to explain all that in the follow-up video, which is why I still have the guitar now. So I forgot to return it, and then it turns out, well, that was probably divine intervention, because I still need the guitar to make a follow-up video, which I might record tonight. Because some other people were saying, well, you shouldn't be comparing a Sonic to a Fender. I agree, and I also have some more to say about that. So I agree, because my whole point was to address the concern that some people have that the new Fender, Indonesian Fender, is just an Indonesian Squire with a decal that says Fender on the headstock. So to address this concern, I really shouldn't be using a Sonic, right? I should be using a classic vibe. Now, but it's still a good thing to have a side-by-side comparison video between a Sonic and an Indonesian Fender, because there's a $400 difference. So it's a legitimate video, because it shows what $400 extra buy when you pay for the Fender. And it also answers the question, is it worth paying an extra $400 for the Indonesian Fender, or should you just buy a Sonic Squire, right? So that could be a video as well. Right. Now, some people were saying, well, Sonic is garbage. No, it isn't. This guitar is garbage. But I have a Sonic at home that I bought. It's kind of like this guitar. I bought this one for $60. Okay, it was surplus. This one is made in China. Now, the Sonic that I have at home is made in Indonesia. But it's a different Sonic. It's a hard tail Sonic. So no springs, no trem. Should be called a vibrato, but whatever. So I want to convert that Sonic into a string through, because it has a top loading bridge, which I actually have right here. So the Sonic that I have at home came with this bridge, okay, which is a top loader, or rear loading bridge, and that's not good, okay, especially on a Squire. So I want to convert that Sonic Strat into a string through, just like a Telecaster, or most Telecasters, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's what I want to do. That's why I bought that one, because it has a good neck. All right, that's why I bought it. And I want to make it into a really good guitar. So what do we have here on the bench? So why am I still here? It's raining, cats and dogs outside. I didn't want to stay late. I had a headache before. Now I feel much better. My headache is almost completely gone. It's complicated with these cameras. Okay, so I have this bass here, and I was gonna do an archival private live stream, which I sometimes do, right? And I just thought, whatever, let me just do a public live stream, because I usually do archival live streams earlier in the day when there's no audience. Kind of if I'm going to be streaming at this hour, I might as well do a public live stream. People are more likely to tune in. So now there's a problem here. I was going to do an archival live stream because there's something to archive for my own insurance. Okay, this is it. So the customer put these strings on by himself. When he brought the bass in, it had a humongous up bow. This neck had never been adjusted. So I adjusted the neck already. A week ago, I said, let's leave the bass alone for like a week, and then we'll work on it. But these are brand new strings. Now, the problem is that I might break a string. I don't like when people put brand new strings and then they bring the guitar, the bass, they say, I just put brand new strings and I'll work on it. Especially when I have this situation here. This is not a good situation because the thick part of the string is wrapped around the tuning post all the way up to here. And this can break a string. So you can also see that this is wrapped multiple times. And I might leave it like that. Because if I unwrap these, see this thick part is wrapped over the thinner parts. And that's kind of like a bumblebee wrap. But I might leave it like that. And that's simply because if I shorten the string, this will be wrapped around a smaller diameter and it can break. Well, it's more likely to break. It's still likely to break now. So this tapered part should be somewhere between the nut and the tuning post, right around here, just like we see it here, okay, or here. The thick part of the string should not be wrapped around, but that's how they made this string. So I could extend it here with an extendo, which is a thing that I made for a buddy for his bass. And then if I extend it, if I move the string in this direction, then on this side, we would have a better situation around the tuning post. But we're not extending the string. So I had to document this because these are brand new strings, expensive, and I can't be responsible if I break it because it's like this. So I'm archiving it. Not responsible. I'm not going to say that I don't care if it breaks. I do care. But I just can't be responsible. Because string companies should know how to make strings. So I can work on it, but I cannot be responsible for the string breaking especially not when I see there's a problem before I even start any work on this bass. So I set it, I archived it. Now let's get to work. I'm going to make a smaller box for these. I keep taking them out of these holders anyway. Files. So what's the point of having all this? There is no point. But yeah, time is valuable, and I don't have, you know, much extra time to make little boxes with little compartments. Okay. 2 people watching. Hi. So, not much of an audience, but still good company. It's not how many, it's just, you know, how good people are. Okay, so let's see. We need to fix this nut. So these strings are too high, okay? Way too high. I'm not even sure this is the original nut. Now, the customer said that he bought it brand new at Sam Ash a long time ago, and that no one ever changed the nut. But here's the thing. We don't know if the retailer changed the nut. Sometimes they do that, and they don't tell you. I want to open it up at the back a little bit. Okay. Let's put it back and see. So the strings are very, very high. And they need to come down. Humongous gap. It's relatively speaking, yeah. I'm not sure this is the original nut. I mean, maybe it is, but it's a Fender jazz bass. I don't want to tighten the string too much because of that wrap, but I can see that it's way too high. I need to put this here to hold it. So, I don't know. I'm doing these live streams. Yeah, I'm kind of getting used to this new normal. I guess it's a good thing, I guess. I don't know. I don't see this being ever very popular, obviously. It's such a tedious thing, right, to watch someone work. For most people, this is not a good program. Now, I'm not saying that they have bad taste or anything. It's just, obviously, this is such a more like a narrow interest, right? Niche kind of interest. I think a lot of people who want to learn how to do these things, you know, will be watching in the future. And then once they learn, there's no reason to continue. But then younger generations of people who want to learn will sign up, I guess. I don't know. So I can continue doing this. I think even for people who want to learn, it's just there's something psychological about watching an archived live stream versus watching a live stream that's happening live. So yeah, there are some archives, but I'm not really sure that that's you know, good content for people to watch in replay when they can just subscribe and get notified when there's an actual live stream, which is, you know, several times a week now. So I mean, that's what I would do. I would subscribe and wait for the actual live program. I might watch a replay and you know, kind of skip through if I wanted to look for something. But on my main channel, I have 100 and something videos, right? That took like almost 3 years to make. And here on this channel, I already have, what, almost 200 live streams? But I need to monetize this channel. When I mean monetize is, I can monetize anytime, right? I can be selling my own stuff through the channel, whatever, right? Monetize in terms of ads. Now, or maybe even sponsors. So for ad money, I need 1,000 subscribers plus 4,000 hours, viewing hours. It'll happen. I got 200 and what now subscribers now? Let me check. See, on this, I have an app for YouTube Studio, and so my main channel's got 5,300 subscribers and 65, right? And that's thanks to this latest video. But here I can switch the account to this account, right? 286 subscribers. Okay. And to get monetized, I am halfway through with my viewing hours, my watch hours. So I got 2,042 watch hours. I need 4,000. And I need 1,000 subscribers. So this is, you know, not yet close enough, unfortunately. So I will reach 4,000 viewing hours soon-ish. But it's going to take a while to get 1,000 subscribers, unfortunately. Yeah. But I need to monetize it. It's also going to be, I think, a good thing for potential sponsors of tools, I think, and guitar products, cleaning products. Yeah. I hope no one objects if I want to get paid for making content. Like all this, you know, cost me, right? So I don't need any of this. Well, I need the microscope because I like to work with a microscope. But I don't need the cameras or, you know, to work on guitars. And speaking of microscopes, now it seems like there's a new trend. People are buying microscopes to work on guitars. So there's this thread on the Telecaster forum. It's my thread. And people started talking about my microscope and stuff. And somebody said, yeah, you know, I bought a microscope, like a $26 microscope or something, and this is it. And then somebody else said, I'm going to buy one. I don't know. So I think 3 people now bought or are buying them or whatever, right? So to work on guitars. And I think that's great. I mean, you would use a magnifying glass, right, to look at something. Why not a microscope? It's a, you know, low magnification microscope. This is now, we're looking at 7 times magnification, right? Actually, it's less than 7 times because I have, I also attached a lens that's called a Barlow lens, which reduces the magnification when I'm all the way zoomed out, but it increases this distance, working distance, so I can, you know, put my tools under the microscope. So this, what you're seeing now is less than 7x magnification, right? And then when I zoom in all the way, let's focus on this. This is supposed to be 45x, but like I said, I have that lens that reduces it to whatever it is. I don't know. So it's, you know, low magnification. It's really not about magnification. It's resolving power. And I see a much clearer image here than I do on the screen, which is what you see. Sometimes I look at the screen, sometimes I look at this. But I like to look at this because I see a stereoscopic image, right? There are 2 objectives. I'm sorry, 2 eyepieces and 2 objectives. 2 completely independent optical systems. So yeah, so you have that 3D, you get like a nice depth of field when you look through. Yeah, it's nice. It looks good, and it's helpful when you need to judge distances and you know, do whatever work you need to do. See, I just come up with this now. You know, I'm just placing this here against the bench to hold the string. All right. I nicked it right here. The bass will survive. It's still too high. So this action was really, really high, and now it's gonna be adjusted. But it all kind of starts with the nut, right? We're also going to polish the frets. Not going to be leveling them, just a little polish and buffing. We are getting there. Well, I know I'm not saying much. I don't know what to say. So the our friends, the live streamers, you know, they prepare mentally for the live streams. I'm sure they write down bullet points. They maybe rehearse some passages. I don't know. I just have a guitar or a bass in front of me. Come on. Yeah. How is that? You know, I think what I'm seeing here is that this part of the fingerboard is just kicked up like this. It's thicker here than it is here. Because I'm getting pretty low on the nut height here with between the string slot and the actual board. But I still have a gap, and now this gap is getting smaller. I'm going to stop here because I don't want to cut too low, and let's work on this one, which is too high. Yeah, something's wrong here. Something's not right, so I need a little time to think about this. And here. Yeah, we need to remove quite a lot of material. And again, but when I look here, it doesn't seem to be too high. I have another way of measuring, and it's always good when something looks suspicious, because I already did this, to double check everything. And I want to do this right now. So I have this half pencil. What happens if all your viewers pay YouTube not to see ads? Do you still get paid? Yes, that's my understanding. But less. Okay, so all right, I'm getting really close to that line. Not going to overdo it. It's something I need to think about for a moment. I don't know if these strings are arching more or something. Okay, these are not conventional strings, but it's really high. And this one is high as well. I know you don't see what I see because the camera's in the wrong place, but and let's check something else. I have yet something else to use, but where is it? I have this long feeler gauge. I haven't used in a while. Is it here inside? No, I thought it was here. Oh, it is here. So I want to put it like this. So you can see here, I know the string is in the way, but I'm going from the nut, crossing the first fret, and you can see there's a wiggle there, right? So there's definitely a space, right? But the space looks smaller than what I'm seeing when the string is on. Yeah, it's a very small space. So why is it that I'm seeing more space when I use the string? There's probably arching here. So maybe this is a property of this string type, because this is a much bigger space. I'm not going to mess too much with this nut anymore. So I think that these strings somehow behave differently. They arch like this. And this one seems to be high, and this one is way, way too high. So let me work on this one first. I want to see what happens. Maybe this string slot is just too wide. Or maybe these, too narrow, or maybe these strings are just too wide or something. Damn it. What are these strings? Because something just doesn't feel right. Yeah, these are huge strings. So the one that should be 45, a 45 gauge, is a 75 gauge. The one that should be a 65 is an 85. The one that should be 85 is a 106, maybe 105. And the one that should be the 105 is 120. What kind of strings are those? You see, because they're black, it just didn't even look like. Is this why his neck was bowed like this? And now it's midnight already. Just what I need. I thought this was going to be a quickie. So that's the problem. These strings are huge. So what did he tune this to? Well, it was tuned. See, that's another reason why I don't like when people just put some kind of weird strings on and bring it here. You know, where is the package? Not here. I think I'm gonna have to make some adjustments here. So this is a 105, so I need the big file on this one. So this is what I see, right? And now this file is a 105. So, yeah. So let's work on this A string. And what we need to do now is cut the two sides. Okay, so now the string can go into the string slot. You see, never assume anything. I assumed these were standard gauge strings. And I almost messed up. Now let's check the height. Oh yeah, see now, I don't even need to measure this. This is the right height. Okay, so, you know, now as I cup my hand like this and I look through here, I can see that the other strings are riding on top of the string slots. Damn it. So this was supposed to be an 85 gauge. That was 105. This was supposed to be 65, but it measures to be 85. So now let's work on this one here. And let's zoom in. You see there's something here at the bottom of the string slot. What the hell is this? So you see the string never even touched the bottom. But I could swear that I saw black at the bottom of the other string slots. I'm going to have to check the replay of this live stream. So now here I'm going to take an 85 gauge file. 85 gauge, and cut the sides. Okay. You see, because as I was cutting, I started noticing on this string that the, you know, that I was cutting this bottom really close to the board. And I thought that this board is not straight, but it's the strings. So now let's check the height. Perfect. I don't even need to measure this. I can tell. Okay. And now we move over to the G string. Now I can't really, I don't think I can mark it off. I'll mark the bottom so that I know that I'm not touching it. And here I'm going to use a 65 gauge file. You know, let me measure this string one more time. You know, measure twice, cut once, kind of, you know, logic. It's a 71 gauge, 72 gauge. I don't even have a 70 whatever file. I have a 65 and then I have an 85. So that's a 46. That's not going to work at all. 85. Where's the 65? 65. Okay, so we're going to have to be creative here. The sides. We need to open the sides. So, interesting development, right? And I guess that's one of the benefits of watching live streams, because these things happen. And it's, you know, the real deal. So now what do I do about the E string? Well, I cut it so much that now it's seated like this. I'm just going to leave it like this. You know, people need to tell me things like this. Okay, it's too high, so we need to cut it a little more. Low, go lower. Where's the 65? Here. But yeah, I need to cut the side, the two sides as well. And just go a little lower. So just talking to my friend in Australia. So he's he's also a luthier. I think he's a builder and a repair technician. And we're talking about my live streams, and he says, "You ever dropped a screwdriver on a customer's guitar?" And I didn't right away know what he was getting at, so I said, "Well, that's why I don't have a pegboard here, right? So nothing falls on the guitar." And I said, and then he explained that he meant, if I'm streaming and I damage a customer's guitar on live TV, I can't hide it. So this is an interesting development right now, right? And it's happening. I wish I could sanitize it, but I can't, because it's already been viewed by people. This is good. I could even cut the A string lower. Let me see. Nah, I'm just not going to. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. All right, so what do we do now? Let's say for now that I'm done with the nut, okay? So I'm going to remove the strings and work on the frets. Then we'll check the nut again. Yeah, so the frets are a little bit sharp. And this is another thing, it's like I like to do the fret ends kind of a little bit when the strings are on. So now I can't because these are new strings. I shouldn't be doing that. And I don't know if they're expensive. All right. See, things just didn't make sense. And I'm glad that I was paying attention so that I double-checked. I'm glad someone was paying attention here, not the other people. So I think these are strings that are thicker because they're wound with, I don't even know what this is. Plastic or something. And customers don't understand. Oh, you cut the nut, just put in your nut. Yeah. So when he brought the bass, it was like bow and arrow. Unbelievable. I don't even know how I was playing it. So he was saying, yeah, the intonation is wrong. Yeah, because, you're stretching the strings so much. And then he also asked, can the action be lower? So, yeah, but the intonation was his first complaint. And the strings were super high. Okay, let's remove the strings. So this is a bumblebee wrap here. Multiple wraps. I think it's the entire length of the string wrapped. But like I said, it's against my best judgment to cut it short and then wrap it around, wrap the thick part around a smaller diameter. It might break the string, or should I risk it? I don't know. Now these are okay. These I can rewrap. I can shorten them and rewrap them. All right. Yeah, I don't think he trimmed any of the strings. Okay. The easiest way to deal with this really is to remove the entire bridge plate. Just unscrew it. Okay. And this way we can clean everything. Okay, and let's remove the scratch plate as well. This requires, I need the smaller Phillips head. Now, I'm not sure why there's a gap here, why this is misaligned like this. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. And I need to change this tip. And let's just put all the screws here. Okay. All right, this way we can clean everything. There's an active circuit here. Oh, there's a battery. Okay. And now we remove this. So the screw holes through the body are too tight, like always. That's because they're lazy. Sometimes I wonder if they drill through the body and through the neck at the same time. And I know they do that on Squire guitars. Okay, so first thing I'll do is enlarge these holes with a number 18 drill bit. Where is it? Here. Okay. Yeah. There's some wax here. See, but that's the thing, there shouldn't be lubrication. Did you see what almost happened on live TV? Okay. Let's check. Okay, now it's tight and it goes through. Okay, that's good. And now we clean it. All right. So, let's see, number 65 Dunlop. And this. So I got some wax smeared here, so I just removed that. He said that he changed the battery recently, so not even gonna check. He just changed it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. And this way I didn't touch it, because these things, they tend to break. So if I don't touch it, I'm not responsible for it. And he just told me he just changed the battery, so. And I forgot about that, but then I saw this circuit, and then I kind of now it's coming back to me. He dropped it off about a week ago. Formula 65 Dunlop. It doesn't have the same smell that the detailer has, So I'm just checking, checking out a product that I haven't really used much. I just bought it. I just bought this, and this is for the fretboard. So let's try this as well. Let's see how that works. Okay. We good. I don't see a need to remove this. It looks good. All right, so now let's look at the fingerboard or fretboard, since it's got frets. Oh yeah, we might want to clean the bridge plate. Now that's a bit trickier. Since I don't want to remove the strings. The reason why I don't want to remove the strings is because they're all curled up like this. I can still clean everything like this. I can clean all the dirt, but there are some, the separation of the, whatchamacallit, chrome. That's a chrome-plated bridge. So it's not going to look brand new because of that separation of the chrome. Okay. Now we can work on the neck. So, yeah, I can feel a little bit of fret sprout. Now, I was right about this being thicker here than here. So, it's a combination of both. Yeah, let's look through the microscope here. So this is this here is the second fret and third. So you see the thickness of the fingerboard? So I make a mental note, and here it's thicker. And look how the nut's installed. So here is thicker, right? So that's gonna result in the string slots, the bottoming out closer to the fingerboard, right? Because here it gets thinner a little bit. Now, obviously, these are all very small distances, but I can see the difference. When I look at it like this, I can see the difference. It's really thin here. They do this all the time. And it's the same on this side. Look how thin it is here. Okay, let's look at it here. It's really thin. And then Look how thick it is here. Okay? It's their manufacturing process. That's like that. So, sorry. I'm going to just hit the sides a little bit. Much smoother. Okay. Same thing here. See here, yeah, I didn't even put this in the budget. I'm doing extra work now. I don't know why. I guess I didn't really notice that it was, or maybe I just wanted to be nice. Yeah, because it's so minimal, I guess maybe I just said, whatever, I'll throw it in. Could be. I can't remember. Now let's do some dressing with a file. Just these corners. I'm using the really excellent Fret Guru file for this. Just the corners. I'm not going to even do the around of the ball ends of the frets on this one. They're fine. So this file can be completely flat against the fingerboard and really just hit that little corner. That's it. You don't need to remove a lot of material. Okay, good. Okay, now there's some corrosion on the frets, so I want to use my wire brush. It's the soft wire brush. It's brass, right? It's going to get some of the corrosion, remove some of it. Wow. I wonder if he had rusty strings on this at one point. It looks like rust. I mean, these are not steel frets. No. Okay, better. Now I said I wanted to try this thing. Never used this. Remove string shake bottle. Well, okay, I will shake it. Spray 1 or 2 puffs onto a clean cloth. It's so small. Work dirt and grime free and wipe away any excess. Not for use on maple fretboards. See, I'm glad I read this because I would have sprayed this. So clean cloth. So I guess they want me to use this cloth that came with it. And I'm using this cloth for something else. But all right, let's see. Or maybe some other time. So the neck now has a slight back bow, which is what I want for the fret work right now. Yeah, I don't want to experiment with something now. This is not the time, so next time. But, yeah, I said I wouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do a round off the fret ends a little bit. Because I think I can do better than what's here now. It's very quick. And then we'll do the sandpaper. Okay. All right. This is another really good file. So StewMac, I bought, no, where did I buy it? No, I bought it from Arkansas Music Supplies, I think. StewMac used to sell it. And then they discontinued. And this company, I think, has a few remaining ones. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if All Parts now sells it, this file. It's a quarter round file. Really, really good file. People confuse this file with crowning files. This is not a crowning file. This is for the ball ends to round off the fret ends. All right. Now, I'm going to tape off the nut. Always. And I'm going to check if the frets are even with a fret rocker. Obviously. This one. I said this in a previous live stream today. Somebody is giving a bad review on YouTube, a bad review for the fret kisser. It's a good tool, but you need to know how to use it. You need to use it slightly diagonally. Okay, we're good with this. And now I can start sanding. Maybe I recrown this a little bit, the first few frets. Just to hide the dimples here. Anything flat? Nothing. It's all good. I just want to hide the dimples here on the first 3 or 4 frets. If I use the long radius one, it's going to take off the 2 shoulders a little bit and hide a few dimples. Okay, this is better. Now we can sand it with sandpaper. I'm going to start with 400 on the sides. Just on the sides with 400. Well, you know what? No, I don't know. Okay, cool. That's that. And now we move on. $600. P600. But now I'll be hitting the crowns as well, okay? Because there is a little bit of a, yeah, it needs some dressing, okay? So. I need a better vacuum cleaner for the bench because I only have a really small one and a really big one. I need a medium-sized one. Okay. $800. You don't need to tape off this kind of fingerboard. Okay. 1,000. And we are going to continue with the polishing pads. So I forgot to put a link in the description, but I will. Now, I'm required to say that I will get paid a small commission if you buy through those links at no extra cost to you. There, full disclosure. Okay, let's see. Where are they? Okay, 3 viewers still watching. Yeah, sometimes I reuse these gloves to be environmentally friendly. So I flip them, and then I gotta flip them back. That's 1,500. I think it's important to clean between the grits. Okay, we've done some sanding and stuff. We double check. Sometimes I try to shake it like this just to make it rock, if it's gonna rock. Okay, we're good. Okay, we'll buff it anyway, right? So and I have a 34-inch scale fret shield that I intend to use on this one. So they are kind of shiny already. Now, why did you choose to use this method instead of the Ken Parker method with this little thing? Huh? So that's a question. Write the answer. What do you think? There must be a reason why. There always is. This is the last grit. 12,000 grit. A very fine abrasive. It's the pink one, used to be. Now it's even finer than 12,000 grit. Okay, so now it's time. The time has come. So I'm gonna put a link to the polishing pads. I'm gonna switch these two. I'm gonna use this one for the final buffing because I think it spins a bit faster. And this one for the first buff. And like I said, I have a 34-inch shield right here for the bass. Let's see if the scale length is exact, or is it like on some Strats. No, it fits. Okay, that's good, because that's going to speed up the process. I'm going to start with this. And then we'll do another pass with the other buffing wheel. Okay. So I wonder if maybe one day dentists and surgeons will be live streaming as well. Or maybe someone's already doing it. I don't know. Maybe they're doing it for medical students. I don't know. Too many frets. Sometimes I work on fretless basses. They have other issues. I know I'm not really talkative right now. Yeah, like I said, the other live streamers prepare. I was talking to Steve Cassidy on Zoom one day, and as we were discussing, well, as we were getting ready to get on a Zoom call, which took a few days or a couple of weeks actually, you know, just to coordinate schedules, I know that he told me that Wednesday is not a good day for him because he's preparing for his live stream on Thursday. Mentally, I guess, right? It's not easy. It's just a one-person show. Most of the live streams, right? So I'm not using the rubber bands that come with the fret shields, as you can see. For this technique, it's not needed. But you can use an angle grinder with a buffing wheel. So I've never done it, but if you want to do that, I would say then yes, you do need the rubber bands to hold on the fret shield. One hour and 50 minutes and 28 seconds. Yeah, so I did spend some extra time with the fret ends. See those things cost me when I do extra work. In a sense that I could have been doing another job during that time or during that amount of time. So when you think about how much to charge for a job, it's good to look at everything and think through everything. I think I might have undercharged for this one. I don't think I ever overcharge. And that's the thing. If it turns out that I didn't need to do a certain procedure, then I, you know, remove it from the work order and from the invoice. Sometimes when I do see that a job is going to require another lengthy procedure, then I stop and I text the customer and we discuss it, and But with the live streams, things change. And negotiations are different. I have another bass that I'm working on that is reaching that limit, because I do like what we call an NTE agreement, not to exceed. And it had some truss rod issue that took a lot of communication. And then also the customer was asking me more to explain more and this and that. And then I had to shoot another video about that and another one explaining. So, yeah, I mean, that all counts as work, because it is work. See, this is what I'm using this cloth for. So I didn't want to spray that thing and start cleaning the fingerboard. All right. I am getting tired. So Dr. Rubbish Guitar Bloke had to leave. And now I'm almost alone by myself. Late at night. I'm by myself here. But there's one person still watching, I think. Or maybe someone fell asleep watching my live stream and the computer's still running. I don't know. So the second pass should go faster, I think, I hope. Okay, with this one. Starting from here. I'm keeping my nose away from this. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I need to tighten this, I think. Yeah, look at that. So I keep saying this, the important thing is to keep moving. Otherwise you overheat the fret in one spot. Huh. I think it's creeping out again. Look at that. All right, this should look pretty good now. Yeah, and we need to clean the fingerboard. I'm not even gonna clean the fret shield, not now. Later. The fingerboard with our favorite toxic chemical. Oh, I have the smoke container now. I keep forgetting. Yeah, right here. Oh. So I had a headache before and went away. Now it's kind of coming back. And I stayed late just because it was raining cats and dogs outside. And the weather forecast said that it would stop after 11 p.m. And now it's past 11 p.m. It's already tomorrow. But I think I checked around 11, it was still raining, so. So I don't know if it's raining now as we speak. So I learned my lesson today. When I see unusual strings, I need to measure before I cut. Measure twice, cut once. So that was, yeah, almost a disaster. Disaster at the Workbench. That's an Agatha Christie novel. Disaster at the Workbench. Okay. just need to recharge these. I got one viewer. So no one guessed. Oh, did anyone guess? So Rubbish Guitar Blog said, yes, my fret kisser is disappointing. We'll try it diagonally next time. That's what you need to do. I think I'm going to make a video about that because there's a bad review video about the fret kisser. And I think it's not fair. It's a good tool. Every tool has limitations. But anyway, I don't want to get into it now because it's late. I think I'm going to make a video about the fret kisser and how to use it. And why it is not what many people assume that it is. Including me when I was little. And then I realized some things. But to be fair, they don't explain that in their advertising materials. So I'm oiling it, and it's looking good. That's enough oil. We don't want to overdo it. Yeah. I reuse these gloves, but I think I'm not going to reuse it now. All right, my head is starting to bother me again. Okay. Oh. Nothing. I think you saw that. But nothing happened. Just hardware. This bass already fell on the ground once on the floor somewhere. I can tell because this tuner is bent and there's some damage here, but it's noticeably bent. Now if you try to straighten it, you might break it, so I'm not gonna try. Because if I break it, I own it. Okay, now we can start reassembly. Oh, how about we clean this pick guard? That's it. Okay. Let's bring the bad boy. Let me check something. Nah, I'm not gonna shim the neck. Oh, come on. That's a loose neck pocket. Look at that. Well, that's what it is. Is it hitting the right spot? Yeah. I prefer not to use the power tool for the neck, although you can if you use it properly. So it's a loose neck pocket. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to kick the neck. We'll see. So now I did tighten it, but I might need to, loosen it and kick the neck. I don't know. This part now. The bridge. So I always go counterclockwise first on wood screws until it hits the internal thread. Oh, I'm gonna need this. Okay, this is good. Pick guard. I put the same screws in the same order when it's any kind of like really vintage or worn guitar or bass, because you know, they have different levels of wear or rust on them. I'm not tightening. They're like almost stripped. The screw holes are almost stripped. Okay, we're good with that. Let's put the tools away. So we need to shorten these strings, and I have a dilemma about the low E because I don't want it to break on me. I think I'm gonna have to take a risk. I'm still not responsible if it breaks. But the customer just, he never cut the strings, he just wound them. I hope this works out. So now because they were already curled up, I need to straighten this, right? That's the part that goes here. So another thing that this customer was telling me is that he loosens the strings when he doesn't play the bass. And I told him, no, don't do that. he said that he thought it was better for the neck. And then he said also, what about when I put my bass away for a long time? Like, how long? No. I mean, you know, there's a truss rod that's tightened against the pull of the strings. They're balanced against each other. So if you loosen the strings for a long time, you gotta loosen the truss rod. That's not a bad thing to do if you loosen both. But loosening the strings every time you don't play the bass is not the way to go. Right? So there are sometimes myths that somehow people hear about, I guess, or what is this thing here? So I think these are high tension strings. That's probably why he's loosening them. High tension, slightly high tension, I guess. I don't know. Right. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish tonight. My watch is running out of juice as well. Let me recharge it. Oh, I got some viewers. So I'm still streaming from the shop. So now let's double check that relief. When he brought it in, it was really like bow and arrow. So first thing I did was I made sure the truss rod even worked, and then I left it. I let it sit for like a week or so. So I need to loosen the truss rod a little bit this time. Oh yeah, I remember. It's got a differential relief. Well, it all depends now. Should loosen it a little more to benefit the treble side. On a bass, like I was just measuring now 6 1/1000ths relief, and now it's 8, not 11. But on this side, we got more. So we got 11, let's go to 14, let's see, 14, 16, 18, look at that. Ugh. 18. Wow, is this going to play without buzzing here? Because now it's probably going up this way here. See what kind of action we have here. So I need to raise it a little bit anyway. We'll see. Let's see what we get. I don't think I'll finish this today, to be honest. What size is that? Nah. I got it. All right. (1/16) size. So I need to straighten this truss rod a little bit. Yeah, so this is just going to be one of those. We're going to play it by ear. And now I need to raise the action a bit because of that differential relief, which is a bit too severe. What is this, metric on a... Oh, it made in Mexico? Man, these socket screws are, I mean, set screws are just so bad. Unbelievable. Okay. Yeah. So you're going to have slightly higher action, 110 instead of 100 on the bass side. But he used to have like 300, so I think he'll be happy. This is it on the treble side, 80. That's good. I could even go lower. Slightly below 80, it's like 79, it's 78 or something. I'm checking it acoustically and there's no buzz. And now we do our radius. What is this, 7 1/4 maybe? That's my radius gauge over a fret. And I'm looking for my feeler gauge, the really thin one that I have here, usually. But I guess, oh, here it is, okay. So it's even more radius than 7 1/4, look at that. What about this fret? I know they did make a 6-inch radius at some point. I don't have a radius gauge for 6-inch radius, whatever. We'll use this one and we'll raise the other two a little further up and it'll be okay. So, no problem. So now I'm lowering the A string until it hits the radius gauge. And do the same with the D. Let's make sure they are parallel to the bridge plate. Good. Maybe this one needs a little adjustment. That's good. Oh, and I was going to raise them a little bit in the middle, right? Just a little bit. We are eyeballing it because we don't have a radius gauge that matches the frets. So now let's double check with this. It doesn't have to be that high. Okay, that's better. Okay, that's good. And then, okay, so I am going to finish it. We'll just dial in the compensation, the intonation compensation, and we'll be done. Okay, where's my cable? Here it is. So, here we go. Into the audio interface. And GarageBand. GarageBand or Logic Pro. I do have both. Tuner. So what I do is I put the tuner on the screens over there so I can see it. Okay. Now it's out of tune because I was raising the saddles or lowering the saddles. So first, let's tune it. Okay. So he said that the intonation was completely off before because his strings were so high, obviously. I see the tuner in front of me, right? So even if I'm not completely in tune on pitch, I see how many cents is off, and then I check the octave. And as closer I'm getting to the proper compensation, the more I actually want to be in tune. The G string is always weird on the bass. I never figured this out. I don't think these strings can intonate. I just move from C to D, and the D is like sharp by 12 cents. And then E is sharp by 7 cents. And then F by 5. G by 5, but what's up with this D? 12 cents sharp. those are the kind of weird strings. You know, if they don't have the right winding, like consistently the same thickness throughout the entire string, it doesn't work. So the A was quite sharp. See, even the harmonic is not like matching the fundamental. I think these strings are just untunable. So now it's off this way. Yeah, it's gonna be like a 3-saddle telly. It's not gonna be perfect, and I can't lose more sleep over this. It is what it is. Now we adjust the pickups, pickup height. That's going to be this screwdriver size. I mean, visually it looks pretty good where it is. A little bit lopsided on this one. I think it's fine. Okay. That's it. We're done with this. 2 hours, 43 minutes, 32 seconds. A little too long. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Yeah, because I did a little bit of extra work. I mean, I did charge for the nut. I charged for the, the frets, not the fret ends, but the tops and the, setup, obviously. But not for the fret ends, so that took me a little longer. And something else also, I can't remember what. All right, so we've come to the end of this live stream. This is it for me tonight. I am tired, I have a headache again, and I need to go. And I will be here tomorrow. Not all day, because I'm renovating my basement. So, but yeah, that's it. Did I forget anything? I don't think so. I didn't lubricate the nut. I think it'll be just fine. Those are kind of plastic strings. Self-lubricating, I'm gonna say. Okay, so thank you, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, bye.